Good evening, everyone. I have something that I've been wanting to get around to for quite a while. This is American McGee's Alice. This was, in particular, as you're noticing by these different screens, this is actually an HD revamp of sorts that fans have put together to basically up the resolution of all the textures and stuff to try and make this a little more presentable.
Interesting.
Well, I'll just say right off the bat, it certainly makes a hell of an impression with those first few screens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so to get through the lore kind of quickly. Okay, so first off, yay, screw you Disney, Alice in Wonderland is still technically public domain. So this story will definitely be playing more with the original Lewis Carroll interpretation of it. Granted, with far darker interpretations of it.
Oh, yeah.
Good grief.
So unfortunately, we were able to be, since we were on the second floor, closer to a window and further away from the fire, we were able to escape. Alice was able to escape. Her family wasn't.
I knew having a black cat in the house would cause nothing but bad luck.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of messed her up a little bit, being the sole survivor of a family tragedy. And so this game, as you would expect with something like Alice in Wonderland, takes place not exploring the world around us in this asylum that may come in a later game. No, this comes in exploring the world of a warped and distorted reality within our own mind.
Well, what better place to have a game than inside the confines of your own warped mind?
Insanity. We need to try. So basically is it. And get used to that, because that's pretty much going to be the last main, big pre-rendered cutscene we're going to see till the end of the game. That's our story. We were the sole survivor of a horrible fire. I think we're taking it very well.
Okay.
And
I'll say.
So,
Ow!
My butt.
Please don't dawdle, Alice.
Oh.
We're very late indeed.
all right, White Rabbit. Sheesh.
Oh, God.
You'll get better. Oh, hey, Cheshire.
Yeah.
Hello, Cheshire.
How are you doing? Good, I guess.
Good kitty.
Truth is, this diet's been killing me.
And you've picked up a bit of an attitude. Still
Fans of
curious and willing to
Telltale
learn,
games will
I hope.
recognize his voice actor.
Wonderland's
And the Powerpuff Girls.
Or Powerpuff Girls, because he's also Mojo Jojo.
As knowing where you're
wait, who
going
is he,
is
Hype?
preferable to being lost.
Roger L. Jackson, he's also Mojo Jojo.
Myself
I didn't know that was him.
whether aim to tell
Well,
which
all
way
right
the
then.
wind blows.
I mean,
So, yes.
what a jump from a so-called brave lion who went through a dragon's castle full of edutainment shit, and now he's suddenly suddenly a cat who looks like he's had most of his skin sucked out of him.
I forget that was him.
Looks like more than
I
skin.
keep forgetting that was him. Jeez. Wow. So, I mean, I'll say, I feel like I remember hearing somewhere that both he and the voice actress for Alice, who I think both returned for the sequel, said that they enjoyed doing these roles. Like, it's a fun, surreal kind of experience.
Well, Jackson definitely returned. I'm not sure about the actress for Alice,
I
though.
thought
Okay.
she did.
Ride
Hold on.
the wind.
I'm gonna look it up.
Well, maybe age. But anyway, so let's get some fun facts out of the way. This was actually, I believe, built with the same engine that the Quake games were built off of.
That certainly looks about as jank as a
I'm not
Quake
afraid
game,
of her
so
or her creatures.
I
So
can
that
totally
was-
believe you.
You should
So
stand
just
up
going to
for
say
her.
that's going to explain why a lot of this is, as you can see, a little blocky and definitely builds off of the shooter kind of genre, and especially with the combat. This was completely thrown out with the sequel, which would kind of go for more of a Devil May Cry kind of crowd control fighting style, which I think was a lot better. But nope, definitely not going to be a fun
I'll
little.
take your word on that.
Not going to be a fun little romp in the woods for us. That was me just pausing, adjusting some settings.
Also, you're right. It is the same voice actress, Susan Brand.
Oh, cool.
Okay.
Your knife
What was
is
this?
necessary.
As you
but
can-
sufficient.
oh, go ahead.
Always
No, I was just about to
collect
say,
what
like,
you
it's nice to see that they have the time after
Ignorance.
a 5+ year hiatus to actually reprise their roles.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
then, and they almost, there was a... What the...
Huh?
I
Wait,
still-
How are we gonna get in there?
I tell you, something's not quite right with that wabbit.
So,
Everyone seems completely dejected.
yes, things are
Really
bad,
bad
Alice.
for
If you're
that.
insane, then the entire world based on your mind's gonna be
actually-
kind of in the shitter.
I was about to say, actually, speaking of that rabbits, one of the more recurring actors in this
I didn't
game
think
that
so. I'm a
unfortunately was not
person.
able to return for the
And just
sequel
now, I
is
used to
Andrew
get very
Chaikin,
small.
who
About this
Logan
week.
might recognize as the initial voice actor of Max in the Telltale
Right, as
series.
well as Coach Oleander.
Oh, he was only in
If I
the
knew how, I'd go sideways myself.
Well, no, Oleander was him from Hit the
Mistakes,
Road.
small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Ah,
I
doy.
wish to become about this
Sorry,
big.
sorry. I'm getting all my Maxes mixed up. There's like 3, 4 Maxes I gotta remember.
Well,
Who,
Take more
who played
than
Max
I
in the
wish
TV show
to
again?
get inside.
Doors have
Robert
locks,
Tinkerer.
locks need
I don't
keys
remember
which
any
you
other
don't
roles he's
have.
done, though.
Let's hope the doors are
Right.
open.
And if
Honestly,
not,
the only actor
there
from
may
that
be
show
more
that
than
I
one way
do
to skin a
recognize
cat,
from other
if you're
things
one.
is the late Harvey Atkins'
Most
Sam, although
unpleasant
we all know
metaphor.
who else
Please
he was.
avoid it in future.
Sorry, Cheshire Cat.
It looks like it doesn't look like you care. I mean, with that shit-eating grin, you'll take just about anything.
Combat!
Oh,
Stop it!
well, since we're already on that subject, how is combat? He literally took
Well,
off his head.
Yeah, well,
Off
first off,
with that head.
first off, it'll be kind of grotesque in areas. They go for fantasy horror, fantasy
Some don't
suspense.
Ooh.
By the way, may I say, in terms of tone, I think above the visual art style, because it's very limited, I think the music in this game is great for atmosphere.
Yeah, same.
From
I
what
like
little
it.
I can hear, it's not too bad.
So anywho's, combat is, at first, is going to be fairly limited. All we have is the Vorpal Blade, which, by the way, they try to base a lot of their, again, they try to base a lot of the elements in this game off of anything Lewis Carroll did, including poems that had nothing to do with Alice, like the Jabberwocky, which, or the Jabberwock, whatever, which you'll learn more about him later.
You know, it's
so
funny.
the
You know, it's funny you
Go
say
ahead.
that, considering the fact that this technically wouldn't be the only time that the Jabberwocky was added into Alice context, even though it has nothing to do with it.
There was that really scary live action, like old live action one, and then of course there was the recent Disney reboot thing. Where I think
And
they
let's
brought
never
back the
and let's never
Jabberwocky.
forget that trippy sequence in Dragon's Lair too.
Can you
Where
get me
he-
inside the
That
fortress of
too.
doors?
Yeah, there's also.
But yeah,
I've actually,
And I was about
I've
to say
actually-
in the Disney.
Oh, you got it.
We've all become gutless half-wits.
All I was gonna say
barely
was
risk
on the
crossing
live
the
action
road.
Disney one. It's kind of a shame where it's like they had a great actor and a great design, but said actor only got to say like 2 lines before they literally cut off his tongue.
yeah.
Oh,
Me- Meanwhile, again, Roger Jackson, I love his portrayal of the Jabberwock in this game.
It's honestly really
Every
not too
adventure
different from what Christopher
requires
Lee
a
tried to do,
first
though.
step.
But yeah, just they definitely gave him a lot more time to like flesh out dialogue and be intimidating, be a threat in this game. But anyway, so the Vorpal Blade was referenced in the Jabberwock poem as the blade that actually, spoilers for what we're going to do later in this game, the Vorpal Blade was what killed the Jabberwock in the end.
To benefit from your wisdom.
In this game, they just kind of turn into a butcher knife or whatever. So that's our main melee weapon of choice. And if you're looking at the UI, also this is a nice, friendly father gnome thing. He's actually a pretty
I
good
wish
guy.
to get very small.
The Cheshire Cat, though, is going to be our
No
main
bigger than a
companion
mouse.
for the journey since he doesn't have to
Do you
walk
like
anymore.
doing
Lazy.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you notice from the UI, we have 2 main meters, one on the left and the right.
I have nothing of that.
Red is, of course, our health, and blue on the right is just mana, which most weapons besides the Vorpal Blade are going to consume when you use their special right-click range maneuver or whatever.
makes sense.
All your range projectiles. Think of it as your ammo. The way they treat the 2 of them is actually interesting in this game. They pretty much, like, sure you have 2 meters, but unless it's specifically like this, that little red thing we passed with a yellow ring, there'll be other ones that are blue. Unless it's specifically designated that, any collectible will refill both meters the same amount.
Gotcha.
And most spots do respawn after a while, but by the way, here's just a little preloaded. I literally don't have to do anything, so we'll just talk about it now. So, this thing runs like a little cutscene, so just let it happen.
Falling rocks.
Oh.
Whoa. Oh, hello.
So, yeah, this was, I forget when this game came out, but I remember it became kind of a cult hit for, like, again, the creepy theme and good, like, world building off of the whole Alice stuff, and of course, what kind of, like, brought this back into the light was Alice Madness Returns that just kind of came out of nowhere. Like, I did not expect this to get a sequel.
Literally.
American McGee's Alice came out and down that goes. But anyway, American McGee's Alice came out in December 5th of 2000.
Yep.
So it is literally 18 years old.
Oh, jeez.
Or close to 18.
Double damn.
Our first weapon.
Actually, what year did Madness Returns come out again?
Check.
52 pickup is a staple of juvenile humor.
I do like the dialogue he has for this. My favorite one should be coming up later.
Wow, literally 11 years later.
Oh, so that was
11 years.
2011. I thought it was more recent because I do remember. If it's okay to talk about my experience with
No, go for
American
it.
McGee's Alice, I first learned about it through I think either a trailer or a friend of mine from high school told me, and then that's what got me into watching the cutscenes for it.
Here's
And
our key.
yeah, I just remember it being more recent,
Yep.
like as I was finishing high school.
Oh god! Oh yeah, these portals just take us around the place. Also, oh god, I remember how much the Madness Returns trailer was so cool. It was like stop motion or
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, which
Oh,
one?
yeah, there
Because
were
I
a
know there
bunch
were
of
like a good.
trailers.
There were at least
It was
three
like
big
the
ones.
first ever reveal, like back when it was stop motion and stuff, when it's him just asking Alice questions.
Oh, that's not actually related to the game. That was fan.
That was fan made. The one where he's all like, "What's wrong? Something's broken. What's broken? I am." That was fan made.
Well, yeah, that stop motion one, that was fan made. It was like someone that was trying to. I don't know if it was like just like a petition for there to be another one, or just something that they made for Craps and Chuckles. But yeah, it wasn't made by the actual
Holy
people.
crap!
The ones that
That was-
I remember seeing,
Ah, jeez.
like the teaser trailer where her psychologist asks her about Wonderland and then her teeth fall out.
Ugh.
The second,
Oh,
That
was
happened.
the
disturbing.
second one was where she's at the tea party, but then like a monster with like a big eye shows up, and then she stabs it with her vorpal blade. And then the third one, which was the actual reveal trailer, it showed like more of the gameplay, the different costumes, stuff like that. And I remember at the very end was the Cheshire Cat quoting, and forgive me, I cannot purr to save my life, even though I am a cat.
I'm sure I'm very
Perfect.
sorry for them, sir. Really, I am. But what about me getting small?
Cause that happened. Thank you, Bubsy.
On the right
But
path
yeah,
set.
So, with that, our first level's already done.
Bubsy.
Welcome to the Fortress of the Doomed.
Ooh, overkill enabled, did you say?
Yeah, I guess that is related to
ooh,
he
What the
kinda
hell
missed
was that
jump.
all about?
He's a crazy kid who kind of missed the jump a bit. What was I saying there?
There's a school.
That overkill, that's just related again to the rendering engine. So I'm gonna be doing some real talk here.
What
I
item
own this game
exactly?
on 360. Played it, loved it. I wanted to record on Steam though, because I also own the Madness Returns on that, which I do want to consider doing a commentary of that as well at some point. Which will definitely, I'll just right now say, it'll be a lot better, a lot nicer to look at than this game.
Yeah, this I look at this game and it definitely screams like early
Dated.
2000s PC jank.
It was dated. Oh boy, we've been spotted. Whoa,
oh, that happened.
Speaking of jank,
that happened. Okay, granted, this is again fan-loaded textures. Okay, you're gonna see that. Let me just get that out of the way right now. This is again a fan-created hack, and I had to do some weird things to get it to work. Also, I'm running this on Windows 10, which I don't think this game was ever designed with the intent of running on it. So there's gonna be.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna say right now, there's gonna be on the top of my mind, on top of my head, 2 to 3 specific instances where textures are just not going to load in a cutscene. Only in the cutscene. In the game, it should be fine, but there will be 2 to 3 instances, and other than that, the game pretty much works fine.
to be honest, all I'd really ask is, would that really be out of place in a place like Wonderland?
I mean, that's the other thing. I can always just say, "Oh my gosh, we've gone too insane." Nope, that didn't work. Okay, let's just go left.
And by the powers of insanity.
Not all jumps will kill you, but some will. That's the other thing. The other reason why I definitely wanted to use PC. Oh dear.
Do we?
Freaking. What are these called? Boo something? Boo jumps? Something like that. I think they're called boojums or spoojums or spookums or something.
Spookums. I like spookums.
I don't know. Oh gosh.
They seem more like banshees.
I think they're called boojums. I'll call them spookums, but you could also call them like sirens. You could kill that one, or wraiths. Either way works. Oh, the other thing to say is
Flying like.
Yeah, it's a
Everyone's a
boojum.
critic.
It's a boojum.
boojum. Thank you. The other. Okay, so I'll just get right off the bat. Oh yeah, the other thing I was gonna say. So I can swing my sword as many times as I want, but throwing the sword does not cost mana, but it does have a bit of a recharge time before I can throw it again. It's just so if I ever look like I'm like, why isn't he doing anything? Why isn't he doing something? It's because I'm waiting. Anyway, let's go into the Fortress of Doors, which is based on our time at the based on our time in school or something like that. Everything's a metaphor in this game. Let's use some demon elixir.
Raise some havoc. The dogs of war. Loose.
This ups my damage, as you would
Demon
imagine.
sir.
Oh goodness.
Oh dear.
Hello.
It also gives us a nice makeover for the Spooktober. Pretty much makes everything one-hit kill, which is good for hordes of enemies.
Happy Halloween! Now die!
Except
Actually, if I
it's
die.
not Halloween yet.
Out of the way. Well, by the time we finish this, it'll probably be time for Sucktober.
Real quick, I want
Probably.
to.
What were you saying, Steve?
Most likely. Were there any other pickups that you talked about? Because I did have to leave for a bit because 2 of the dogs wandered into my room. But yeah, are there any notable pickups that you should talk
I got out of
about?
the way, that thing. There'll be, there's that pickup. I think there's another pickup layer that makes me temporarily invisible to enemies, which is great for if I need to just run through something quickly. There is a really weird-looking grasshopper elixir that makes me kind of part grasshopper in a weird way that ups my speed and jump potential, which makes speed running through things. That is something that is good to know about this game. Also, if you ever see that eye in the upper left corner, I've just quick saved. That is the main reason why I wanted to play on PC, because in cases like that, I'd rather just quick load. Because I already got there.
Yeah.
I'll do my best to cut around that, and I'm definitely going to cut out any deaths I suffer as best I can. But yeah, just know quick saving, quick loading is your friend in ye old games like these.
It's both your friend and probably your worst enemy in the worst possible times.
Just never do what I've done before, which was accidentally hit quick save when you meant to hit quick load.
Oh,
And you
okay.
gotta live with them consequences.
Yeah.
Wait, what am I doing all the way back in level 2?
I hate consequences. Well, it's even worse when... yeah, go
real
ahead.
quick. Did anyone else want to give off their histories with this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I really got nothing because honestly, like, save for a few adverts,
boojums.
the very small amount of time I played Madness Returns, I've got like zilch experience with this franchise.
Well, what about experience with Alice in Wonderland itself?
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland itself? Well, I mean, I guess the most I can really say about it is, or the most experience I really had with it as a whole is probably the One World in Kingdom Hearts. That and the few clips I've seen in the movie. But otherwise, that's
fair.
about it. Oh, and of course
Which
of
movie?
course that Bug Nuts level in Dragon's Lair 2.
Dragon's Lair 2.
Then again, I say
Yeah.
that, though to be fair, that entire fucking game is Bug Nuts.
That, and it's also a bit of a... I think we mentioned this way back when. God, I think that was like the second video I ever did with you guys, maybe.
No, that was the first video you did with us.
No, it was the first.
Oh, that's right, because I wasn't there for the first... That's right, God. I was going to say, the other thing I remember saying was about...
I would have been there for both of them.
I know.
Well, hey, it's not our fault your internet was crap at that time.
I think it was because of the rain at that point. Okay, so this is actually a switch puzzle. I need to hit the 3 switches below me through trial and error.
Whoa!
I got pushed out.
Trial and error and
that was
bad
rude.
luck.
I got shoved down there by a bullet, but it's okay. So you have to use trial and error. I have to pull these switches in the right order by remembering what sound hits what. So that if I pull this one, don't mind doing that thing. Okay, it's okay.
Ooh.
There's one. Just do 31 as number 2.
No, don't mind that, kids. That's just the inner machinations of her head spinning.
You can say that. Oh, just don't
Where's the giant thing
don't
of
worry.
milk,
It's
though?
don't worry. It's just insanity.
Actually, go.
There we go.
But yeah, I guess if I could talk a little
Yeah,
bit
go for
about
Yeah, you go ahead.
just about like Alice in general. Most of my experience, just to kind of differ from James, was actually from the original Disney anime movie that they released years ago. Like, I've seen that one like a good handful of times. Still love it to this day. I did see the first Tim Burton movie, and I don't like loathe it to the extent that people insist I need to, but I don't think it's particularly good adaptation.
Before you continue with that thought, Logan, is there any reason why we're suddenly in forever event viewer mode here?
That was a glitch. It'll be back to normal as soon as I go through that portal up ahead and we go through the.
I gotta admit, this is definitely the most in-depth cutscene I've ever seen this entire game. It's like I'm literally playing it right now.
In the mode. Okay, yeah. So after this loading zone, it should bring back up my UI. Anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, continue.
Oop.
Yeah, go ahead, Hype. So the Tim Burton movie you saw, I actually haven't seen it all. I haven't seen either of them.
The first one is sorry, trying to gather my thoughts. It's not what I would want out of not what I would want out of an Alice. I will, concede to that, but I think it's not quite as disgusting as everyone insists it is. But like I said, I wouldn't really go so far as to say it's
I wouldn't
great.
say it's bad. The main thing I noted was that that's not correct. The only thing I noted was that, especially in the marketing, it's like, I'm sorry, was this an Alice in Wonderland game, or is this a Mad Hatter movie? Is this an Alice in Wonderland movie or Mad Hatter? Because it seems like they're putting a lot more emphasis on the big star, 6-figure salary actor, Johnny Depp, as opposed to the name of the movie.
Honestly, I just think it would be funnier if they casted Johnny Depp as Alice instead.
That I would watch. Just one time I'll watch that.
Wouldn't that be so
That's the pause screen.
Have you seen any of the Disney versions,
I have,
Jordan?
yes. Well, I first learned about Atlas through the original cartoon from the 50s, and then I saw the very first Tim Burton film, which I actually did like for a time being. I never saw the second one, though, because I just didn't really have any interest.
Just seemed unnecessary.
Yeah.
Because goddammit, they need to give Depp another paycheck.
So, with that, I'll go through this loading screen. This should take me to the next area.
More like Devil Damn It, we need to make more remakes.
Yeah. And honestly, consider that the rest of that video was essentially just a cutscene glitch mode. I just imagine you splicing parts of it and then just pop up the logo as if it were a straight up trailer.
Dun 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 dun. No. So yeah, we'll stop there. But there'll be more to this game. I feel like we can do something out of this. And again, the sequel will be something to look forward to. But yeah. With that said, join us next time for how I'll be dragging James tooth and nail through this game in the next part. Bye-bye!
Call the police.
Pip pip chitty-o.
Master, that's more like it.